Mike Moore Media.
I'm talking to Rodney Cates, Director of Rockingham County Emergency Services, our 911 service here in the county. Hey, Rodney, I hope you're doing well, sir.
Doing good, Mike. Good to hear from you today.
Always good to talk to you and get an update on things. Well, one thing for sure we want to discuss, as you're telling me, this is National Fire Prevention Week. October is National Fire Prevention Month, so something we should certainly be aware of and make sure we're on top of that all year long, but certainly some extra emphasis this time of the year.
That's true, Mike. And, this week coincides with autumn and fall and cooler weather and people beginning to build fires and fireplaces and fires in wood stoves and things of that nature and putting extra heaters and things of warmth in their house. So we just want everybody to kick this week off and be conscious of those things and the fire hazards that are produced by those and the holiday decorations and all the things that could create havoc in a home or a workshop or something of that nature. Just be cognizant of those things and know that fires are certainly prevalent and can very, very quickly claim lives. And we want people to be very conscious of that and mindful of it. And we have a great staff in our fire marshal's office that pushes out lots of public information, and they do public information events. And certainly we're an avenue to support people's safety during Fire Week or any other week, and certainly aware of all the dangers that fires pose.
Sure. Well, you mentioned several things, and yeah, we're looking at the holiday season, and you're looking at candles and decorations and, hooking up extension cords wrong for those pretty lights and all of that. So it's a time when, unfortunately, more things seem to happen, it looks like.
They do, and, along with Fire Prevention Week, actually the month of October is Fire Prevention Month. It encompasses the whole month, but fire prevention really should be a 365-day occurrence for all of us. And, fireplaces and chimneys and making sure that they are safe and secure and the drop cords, that's the main problem with holiday decorations. People plug a lot of different types of decorations into a drop cord that may not be sufficient to carry that electrical load. That drop cord then overheats, melts, and which creates a fire. Those dry Christmas trees or the outside decorations for fall, it's certainly beautiful to look at, but certainly could create a hazard if they're not maintained properly.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. So be sure you take extra caution here at the holiday season when we see an increase in things like this. I had a couple of, when I called your 911 center the other morning to get the report over the weekend, there were at least several cooking-related fires. That's always a problem, isn't it? People just put something on the stove and walk away. Oh, I forgot.
They do, or something boils over on the stove. There's certainly not a purposeful event on their part, but again, certainly a hazard, and they may get distracted and taken away from whatever they're cooking. And certainly those are very, very common calls that we have, and we get on scene and we find that it is a cooking incident. It's quickly extinguished the majority of the time, but we've also seen times when they're not quickly extinguished, and we've had some negative outcomes from cooking incidents.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. All right. Well, there are a couple of things we wanted to emphasize, too, on the program there. You mentioned something a moment ago. What about as we get into the heating season? I've never had a fireplace in the home. My grandmother's did. We've never had one here. But chimney safety this time of the year, what are some things we need to make sure we do?
Well, people just need to make sure that those chimneys are clear of any obstruction. And, over time, the soot from those fires build up in the fireplaces and can ignite, certainly at the beginning of the year. Some of our little furry friends from outside, they like to build nests within those, within chimneys sometimes, and they have dry leaves and different, things that they build their nest with. So it's very important that before we begin those fires and fireplaces or wood stoves, that we know and have the knowledge that those chimneys are free of any type of obstruction from a squirrel building a nest or a bird's nest or the soot that's built up, over time that could certainly create a problem.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for those reminders. You have a great team, the 911 men and women. When I was visiting there one evening recently, I was already impressed. I was already so appreciative of what they do, and I'd never been in that situation before, and now it makes me appreciate how multi-talented they are and all of the things they have to learn and be there right at a moment's call in life or death situations. I want to commend you and that certainly that 911, those frontline folks there. And you have someone who's been with you a long time who's going to be retiring this month.
We do. George Casey is retiring this month. George is a lead telecommunicator. George he's like losing an encyclopedia of 911. He will be our only 30-year retiree from the 911 industry. George has been there since the inception of Rockingham County 911. He knows the process inside and out. He knows the history behind it. We're certainly happy and rejoice in George's that he's able to retire and he's reached this milestone within his career. But from an operational standpoint, we certainly hate to see George go. We will be able to keep George on part-time, and he has requested to do so, and we gladly will keep him on as a part-time member. But George is a staple in Rockingham County 911.
He really is, and I certainly appreciate the relationship we have as a member of the media, for sure. Well, we wish George Casey all the best, and I know you're always, when I was there, he was telling me about some training that I guess you're ongoing, isn't it, training there at 911?
It is. We do monthly online training through Richmond Community College. We train within the protocols that we use, the emergency medical, emergency fire, medical, police dispatches that we do. We train in those protocols each month, and actually I did mine yesterday, as a matter of fact. And it is an ongoing thing. We do in-service trainings where we bring in instructors and we do updates when they update the software and how the software works with the new updates. So yes, it is ongoing training, and it's 911 is ever evolving. The software and the platforms are ever evolving, and you really have to stay on top of those updates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I know in 30 years, George has certainly seen so many changes. That's an understatement for sure. But you just mentioned something there, Rodney, that things are always changing. I was so impressed with just the technology in that room that I just didn't expect that level of what you're doing. It was everything is right there on top of it.
It is, and the 911 centers now are built for speed and efficiency. Mm-hmm. But accuracy also plays into that as well. So the technology allows us to be fast, it allows us to be efficient, and at the same time it allows us to be accurate in where we're dispatching resources, where those calls are coming from. So yes, technology, a 911 center in today's environment is the cutting edge of technology.
Mm-hmm. And of course you've been doing this a long time yourself, so you've seen a lot of changes.
I have. I've been in the 911 industry for 13 years, and even over that 13 years, it's changed dramatically. And prior to this 13-year career, my law enforcement career, I've been in many highway patrol communication centers and seeing the way it started back in the late 80s and knowing where it is now. Certainly, it's 180 degrees different, and in the next 13 years it'll be another 180 degrees different.
Mm-hmm, sure, always evolving, as you said. Well, it's I appreciate everyone who's involved and your whole team, and thank you for your time. I know you're awfully busy. Thanks for speaking with me. Thanks a lot.
All right, Mike, good to talk to you.
Okay, we'll talk again next month.
Yes, sir.
Rodney Cates is Director of Rockingham County Emergency Services, our 911 system here in the county. They do such a great job. Now, a quick reminder before we finish up to go to their the county website. That is myrockinghamcountync.com. You can connect with them there or go to Facebook. That's even better. Rockingham County Emergency Services.